Okay, guys, so this is pretty much our last bit of this chapter, new thing that we're going to learn. We're still using factorizing. We're applying it, this time to or add or subtract fractions. Okay, so when I have, let's say, I don't know, 2 over 3 plus 4 over 5, how do I add? What do I need to do? Yes.
You have to find the lowest common.
We want to find the lowest common denominator, right? Now, sometime, like in this case, it's simply going to be 3 times 5, 15, right? And then we say, okay, I'll multiply the 3 by 5 to get 15. Then I must multiply the 2 also by 5 to get 10. Yeah? That rings a bell? Okay? Now, and in this case, I multiply the 5 by 3 to get 15. So I need to multiply the 4 also by 3 to get how much? 12. And then you get 22 divided by 15. Okay? That's what we do in primary school. Now we do the same thing, but with x in the fraction. Okay? So, okay, this is a little bit slightly different. What will be the lowest common denominator in this case? It will be 6. I don't need to multiply 3 times 6, right? Because what is the lowest common denominator? It's basically the lowest common multiple. 6 is a multiple of 3, right? 3 times 2 is 6. And 6 is obviously a multiple of itself. So in this case, the common denominator is 6. I had to multiply 3 by 2. Okay, so I must multiply 2x also by 2 to give 4x. What about this 1? Do I need to do something to that 1? No, because it's 1 over x, so it still stays 1. I didn't need to multiply 6 by anything. I don't need to multiply the 1 by anything. Okay? That's the answer. That's the answer. Okay? Well, that was easy. Okay. Right. A little bit more difficult, but hang on. I'm just going to pause when I had the question. Okay, so now let's do one more exercise, and then I'll send you guys to do some work on your own. So we've got these 3 terms. We add it. Okay? So the first step is to decide what's the lowest common denominator. So 9 will be a bit of a problem because 9 is not a multiple of 6. It's a multiple. 18. Multiple. We're looking for multiple, not a factor. So 18, you got x, but is x the, we're looking for the common multiple. So we've got x and x is fine, but this is x cubed. X is not a multiple of x cubed, it's a factor. So we're looking for like the highest one. So what will it be? It's not x. Okay, we got 18. What about x? X cubed. Thank you, Hannah. X cubed. And we're missing one more thing that is not there. See, here, exactly. Here, in the common denominator, you have to have everything that is here, or multiples of it. Okay, so I don't have to have, well, I have 6. Where is 6 high? How is 6 hiding here? 6 times 3. I have 9 here. 9 times 2. I've got 3. 3 times 6. I've got x cubed. Okay. Or x and inside the x cubed is inside x cubed, and I've got 1. So this needs to include all of them. Okay? Now we just got to figure out what do we multiply the 7 by, what do we multiply the 2 by, okay, minus 2 by, and what do we multiply the 1 by? Okay? So the 7. Okay, so what did we, how did we go from, let's do go back. How did I go from 6x to 18? What did I have to multiply? 3x squared. Thank you again, Hannah, because x times x squared is x cubed times y. So the 7 I must multiply by 3x squared y. Right? We'll leave that to the next step. Next one, minus 2. The minus 2, oh sorry, not the minus 2. The 9x y, what did I multiply it by? Let's do another color. Hang on.
2x squared y.
It's getting a bit too confusing with this similar color. Okay? So say again, what is it? Times 2x squared. That's it, not y, because we already have a y. So the 2x I'm also going to multiply by 2x squared. That's it. I don't need y. Yeah? Because the y is already there. Okay? And then the last one, let's give it green.
This last one's going to be difficult, eh?
Just ran out of space. What do I need to multiply by?
6.
6.
Y.
Why? I don't need to multiply by x because x cubed is already x cubed. So I need to multiply the 1 by 6y. Okay? You don't need to write all these things. I'm just kind of showing it to you once. These things normally we do in our head, but you obviously you can write it if you want. So now I've got 7 times 3, 21x squared y minus 4x squared, 4x squared plus 6y divided by 18x cubed y. And at this point, I need to look, okay, and see if I can factorize anything here.
I don't think so, sir.
There is one.
So you
Ah,
can-
no, there isn't. Is there?
Next to the 4 now, so you can-
No,
I don't
there's
think
nothing I can factorize. I thought about maybe a number. I mean, look, here is no x's, so I definitely can't factorize any x's. Numbers, 21, 4, and 6. No, these two divided by 3, these two divided by 2, but there's no common factor. So that's the end of this. Okay? I'll pause here, get you to do a bit of work, and then we'll do some more questions, more difficult. Right, so we're going one level up. Okay, 3, I think, was theory right?
Yeah.
Okay, 3. Okay, 4, there's a slight complication here. So people say, okay, I've got a fraction. I know how to add fraction, but this is not a fraction, so it's 1 plus 8. So what we're going to do is just, you know, if you have a number which is not a fraction, you can always divide by 1. That's not going to change anything. 3 divided by 1 is 3. 7,000 divided by 1 is still 7,000. You can always divide by 1. Now, okay, now it's a fraction. So the common denominator will be 2. And that means we need to multiply 1 plus a times 2. Okay? And this is the second problem where people face. Now you're going to write minus, okay? And because I didn't have to multiply that by anything, then you might say, okay, I don't need to multiply the 2a minus 1 by anything. And then you just write there. And if you do that, it's a mistake. Why is that a problem?
So because then you get a half, you won't get the other 2.
Because it's just long. It's just...
Okay. The problem is that this is minus all of this. So it's as if there is brackets here. It's minus that. Okay? Let me just show you. So let's say I have minus 3 plus 1 over 2. Okay? Let's do it like that. Minus 3 plus 1 over 2. Is this going to help me? It's not going to read. Okay. So let's say I want to solve that. Let's solve it properly normally first. What's the first step that I need to do?
4.
Yeah, I need to add 3 plus 1 is 4. So I need to write 4, but obviously I need to write minus over 2. Okay? That's the way to solve it, right? We're adding these together and then we stick a minus. So what's the answer? Minus 2. Oh, okay, minus 2. Okay? Alright? But there's another way of doing it, isn't it? You remember, so those of you who are taught in grade 8, we said we can also kind of split it like that. This bit and that bit. Okay? So we can split it into like this. We can say, all right, it's minus 3 over 2 plus half. So minus that divided by that plus that divided by that. Right? What are we getting now?
Minus 2.
Minus 4 over 2.
Minus 2 over 3 plus 1 is
We're getting,
minus
like I said, it's minus 2 over 2, right? Minus 3 over 2 plus 1 over 2 is minus 2 over 2, which is minus 1. So Mr. Lesson, you're talking nonsense. That's not the same. So we can't use this method. We can, we just made a mistake. Where's the mistake? I'm going to pause here and see if you can spot the mistake. Okay, so the mistake that you guys eventually found is that this plus should have been minus. I'll explain why in a second, but let's just see if that's right. If I had a minus here, then minus 3 over 2 minus 1 over 2 is minus 4 over 2, and that's minus 2. And now it's okay. So why should it be a minus? It should be a minus because if you remember, I think last lesson, I told you that when we have something like this, minus 3 plus 1 over 2, but the 3 plus 1 is above the line, that really reads minus 3 plus 1 in brackets divided by 2. So I've got that in brackets. That really should be in brackets. If you want, just to make sure that you never miss out these minuses, as far as I'm concerned, okay, for now anyway, you can always put brackets. You want to put a bracket up here, put a bracket. Put a bracket. Okay? Just to remind you that it is in brackets. Now, if you remember that it's in brackets, like here, then if there's a minus in front of the brackets, okay, we need to multiply that minus by everything here. So it's going to be minus 2a plus 1. But before we do that, we just put that in brackets. Okay, I'll answer questions at the end. Okay, so we must remember that there's a brackets here. Now, we're going to open these brackets. So it's divided by 2, and we're going to do 2 times that business is 2 plus 2a minus 2a. But now, because I have brackets and I was careful, minus times minus is plus. So it will be plus 1 and not minus 1. If you just wrote without the brackets, it will be minus 2a minus 1, and that will be wrong. You'll get something else. Okay, now I've got 2 plus 1 is 3. 2a minus 2a is 0, so I don't need to write 3 over 2. So I'll just pause here. Okay, so, one more question just in case, okay? I think it's actually a bit easier. In this case, what will be the lowest common denominator? 2x times x minus 2. I can't, if I just write 2x, then I don't have x minus 2. So I need to multiply it. Just like I had, let's say, 7 over 3 minus 4 over 5. Okay, when, the 3 is not in the 5 is not in the 3, and the common denominator is going to be 3 times 5. I have to multiply it. And the same thing here. Okay, you can't tell me that 2x is a multiple of x minus 2. We can't tell that. There are 2 different things. Yes, I know there's x in both of them, but I don't know that 2x is exactly x minus 2 times 5, whatever. It's not a multiple. Okay? So we just multiply them together. That means that the 5 we will have to multiply by x minus 2. Check out this thing. So now I'm starting to write it quickly. If I multiply both of them, then the 5 will have to be multiplied by the other denominator. Okay? And then I'm going to write minus x plus 1 times what?
Times 2x.
Times 2x. So in other words, I'll write it like this. I'll write it, okay, what did I forget now, which we just spoke about? Brackets. I must write the bracket, and I'm going to multiply it by 2x. So, I'll just pause here. Okay, video is getting a bit longer, so just let's get on. Now we just need to open everything. We need to open everything. So I've got 10x, not 10x, sorry.
So don't you
Okay.
So cross cancel?
I can't cross cancel. Why can't I cross cancel?
Because that's
Not times, not multiple.
It's not time. It's minus.
right. So
X minus
But I still have a minus. If I have that if that sign was multiply, yes, I can cross cancel that with that, and the x minus 2 and x minus 2. Remember? Yeah, I know there's time here and there's time there, but it's not all time. Everything needs to be time. Brackets, time, brackets. Okay? Only then I can cross cancel. Very, very important. Okay? So 5x minus 10 minus x, and this is where the, okay. What, like Wenger said, it's better if I put the 2x before. It's just easier. They're both fine, but it's easier if the 2x is before. Now I can see that this is minus 2x times x minus 2x squared. That's it. And minus 2x. Questions at the end. Okay? Divided by, and now I'll open this. Do you know what? Sometimes it's worthwhile waiting and leaving it. I'll explain to you in a minute. So I'll leave that for a second. I'll explain why in a bit. Okay? And then we're going to try and sort this thing out. We're going to get minus 2x squared plus 3x minus 10. Right?
Oh, okay, I see where you're going.
Okay? And that's divided by 2x times x minus 2. Okay? Now I'll explain why I left this. Okay? I'll explain why I left this. Now, what is this? That's a trinomial. What could we possibly with a trinomial? Maybe? We can. What can we do with trinomials? Factorize it. Okay, it's a complex trinomial, but maybe we can do it. If we factorize it and one of the factors is x minus 2, then what can we do then? Cross cancel. So that's why it's worthwhile just leaving it like this for a second, see if we can factorize it. If it's x minus 2, we cross cancel. Okay, so I'm just going to pause here. Okay, so we had a little discussion here together and we realized actually we can't factorize this trinomial. Okay, the fact that we factorize a lot of trinomials doesn't mean we can factorize every trinomial. We try, it just doesn't work, okay? So then what we gotta do is open up everything. So we're gonna write minus 2x squared plus 3x minus 10 divided by 2x squared minus 4x. Let me ask you a last question. Can I cross cancel the 2x squared? No, why? Why not? It's not time. Okay, so we learned something very important. Even though this time this and we have this time that, but we still have a minus there between these two terms. I can't cross cancel. I'll just stop here. I think that will be enough for today.